What is up, you guys? It's your boy Captain Jack. Welcome back to the channel. Right now, we just got back from a morning mission. I'm over here with the Van Hooks. This is Derek. Link to his channel will be in the description below. We've gone diving together multiple times, crushed it in the Keys a little while back. But yeah, that's where we are right now. We're cooking up lunch of what we just got this morning, so stay tuned for that. We're target species. Well, really anything we could get, but you guys are gonna have to watch the video to find out what exactly we get into. And we're also here with Jake's Offshore Adventures, and he put us on the fish today. And yeah, tried. Conditions were rough, but we got after it. So I'll roll back to footage this morning when we start sending it offshore. Be sure to like and subscribe, and enjoy this one, guys. Welcome back underwater, everybody. So we're running the usual setup whenever we're going for pelagics and offshore. We're diving some structure. I think it's in like around 120 feet where we are, but we're obviously not making those drops all the way down to the bottom. You can see out of the corner of the view there's a flasher setup I have, and this is my first dive of the day. We are really hoping that this flasher setup, it kind of mimics bait fish, and it brings the fish into us so we don't have to go all the way down deep, or also any pelagics that are off in the distance can see the shining and think there's some kind of feeding frenzy going on. But I make my first drop. My plan is just to kind of go down towards the end of the flashers a little bit. But I really wanted to see the full visibility, so I wanted to go down to see if I could see bottom, and sure enough I do. And when I do, I see a big school of African pompano off in the corner of my eyes, and this was a really big school, and if any of them gave me the shot, I would definitely pull the trigger. And the gun I'm using is a Rob Allen 120, so I do have to get somewhat close. It's not like a big blue water cannon, and I was really hoping the grunting would bring him in. I've had some really good luck, but the main thing is you can't chase them, and even whenever I kind of turn their direction, you can see the whole school realized and veered off back down to the structure wherever they were coming from. But I wanted to go to the surface, let everybody know that there were African pompano around, and hopefully one of us would be able to get a shot on one. Big school APs. Yeah, it's probably like 40 of them. So our primary mission of this trip is for wahoo, and it did not disappoint. Sure enough, they were around. Wahoo, wahoo, wahoo. So you saw me right there. I just pulled my head out. I saw a wahoo really down deep, and it took me a second glance to kind of make sure it really was one. So I chucked my flasher in the direction it was swimming, and it was swimming up current. So say if I needed to chuck it up current of the fish, and whenever I yelled wahoo, Ray also threw his flasher, I threw mine, and I go kind of after my flasher, and I hang down there for just a minute, and sure enough, I see one, and I'll let you know exactly when I see it. I don't know if the GoPro can pick it up, but if I would have maybe waited a little bit longer to retrieve the flasher, or hung out just a little longer, but I turn around, and I think right about here, I see it right there in the middle of the screen. Actually, no. There it is. All right, that was a barracuda off to my right, and then I looked to my left exactly where I saw that fish go to. He must have turned completely around and came back to look at my flasher. And these fish, you cannot chase them. You cannot. If I would have tried to book it towards the fish, he would have just darted. So my goal was to just play it safe, sit there mid-water column, trying to wave the flasher at him, hope that it kind of catches his attention. It doesn't, but I know that this is a good sign, and I'm going to do a couple of drops similar to this and use the throw flasher. They're here. So this is the very next dive. Kind of away from our flasher setup. I knew the weren't going to come in directly to it, so I chucked my flasher, and right there you saw, like, I don't know if you could see it, a wahoo swam up from the bottom after the flasher before the barracuda did, and then it kind of went off into the distance. But I slowly approached the flasher, hoping that a wahoo would get territorial and think I'm going after it. But sure enough, it kind of beelined around, and there it is off in the distance. And this is probably like maybe a 30, 35, 40 pounder. It's really hard to tell, especially in this blue water, but it was a good size one. And but yeah, just wasn't giving me the time of day. Just kind of came in to check the flasher out real quick, and I would have had to been lucky to land on it right when it came in on the flasher. So really, this is the same tactic I used over and over again. I was kind of chucking the flasher a little ways away, and not only, it's not only just wahoo come after it. You can see there was a decent school of maybe 20-pound kingfish that were coming into the flasher. Right there, you see a kingfish, and that's a good sign. If a kingfish is intrigued by it, if there's a wahoo nearby, there's a high chance they could come up to it. But unfortunately, on this drop, nothing really came in, and it was just a quick one. I just went to retrieve the flasher. Once I got to it, I kind of just did a little scope, searching around 360, seeing if anything was going to come in, and unfortunately had no luck on this drop. But Derek actually makes a drop here soon and has a little bit of better luck. So since this is Derek's footage here, I'm just going to let this clip play out, and you guys can hold your breath. I'm not going to do any commentary. You can, since I don't know what he was thinking or his tactic, but you guys can watch and figure it out for yourself, and kind of just enjoy this clip and dive with him on this one.
It's a small AP. You shot a baby.
So again, on this one, it's going to be a clip of Derek. We moved to a new spot, and he's actually diving we're diving a really big wreck, and the wreck is in like 100 feet. So we actually do see the wreck, and this is his footage. He makes a drop, and I'll touch base on this one a little bit because he did explain to me what happened on this dive. And the water was really cold. Unfortunately, I didn't bring a bottom to my topper wetsuit, and I was really cold, especially once you go down past like 50, you hit a thermocline and it drops like 10 or probably like 5 degrees, and that's just bone chilling, especially when you're diving trying to hold your breath. It doesn't do you any favors. But Derek goes ahead and makes a drop, and he sees a nice Cubera mid-water column, which is really cool to see. And he kind of just descends. He could shoot one of those rainbow runners, but he's going to go ahead and give it a shot after this Cubera. He just slowly dropping down, trying not to spook, because if he takes off after this fish, it's going to spook it. Kind of takes a long shot and just missed the fish. It would have been nice to have another Cubera or a Cubera in the box, but we're just going to have to settle with the African Pompano, which is not a bad compromise. I do love AP, and stay tuned. You're going to see us cook this thing up, and it is freaking delicious. All right, Derek, talk about your AP. What happened? What was going through your mind when you saw this stud underwater?
He looked big, and
I wasn't coming up without pulling the trigger.
Funny thing is I dove like right before that and I saw, it had to be the same school because it looked like very similar. A couple had some streamers on them. This is what we got right here. That stud, giant tail. Stud. Just over legal size. They gotta be 24 inches and this guy was like 24 and a half, something like that. So
Yeah.
like just over legal.
I can tell exactly what a legal African pompano looks like underwater.
Yeah, well you won the contest of who can shoot the smallest legal size African pompano. My friends and I, we do competitions like that. Mangroves.
It's like the Price is
smallest
Right.
legal size mangrove.
As close to the right size, but nothing shorter.
How good is your perception underwater? But we're gonna actually fillet this AP up and we're gonna cook it for lunch and don't go anywhere. We're gonna show you how we cook this guy up. And we'll do a taste test, of course.
Oh, I love the head meat.
Yeah. You get the most in those hogs, man. All that hog head meat. Look at you, you made lunch. We were gonna make lunch. We're gonna make this in lunch.
Okay, I can still eat that.
Same. I feel like I would be able to. I could eat this and a ton more. Ray's just getting after it. That's what happens, just randomly start chopping wood.
I saw that, I couldn't help myself.
APs are tough to clean, they're weird.
Yeah, they are.
You like go from cleaning a mutton or a grouper and then you got an AP.
Well, from here to here, it's smooth. You can get
Yeah.
really close, but when you get to mid body, you can feel that bone right there.
And also like the bottom, it's like,
Yeah.
is this little tiny like millimeters section worth the?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I like to cut the ribs out on the bigger ones too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like just keep them separate.
Bigger ones are the.
The collars are real good on APs too. I really like.
So yeah,
the collar.
normally I'll chop it like here.
Yeah,
And then just
same.
push it off.
That's the way to do it with the African pie. Because if you do the whole thing, then you have a really big chunk that you miss.
Yeah. No seams in here.
Just get the sound of some guy chopping wood in the background. Have you eaten any bone marrow before out of the AP?
Yeah, I've eaten.
I forgot to do that yesterday with the one I got.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because it was the kid's first one, so. But I totally forgot after I finished filleting it. I threw it in the water.
Make you seem like a bastard.
Chop wood all day, you don't need no Viagra.
Bend it.
Bend it.
This way.
There you go.
There it is.
Eat the marrow.
There's the marrow.
Get it, get it.
Ready?
Ooh.
Mmm. That's some serious.
It's sweet, right?
Mm-hmm. Tastes like gummy. Like gummy, like salty gummy.
It
Almost,
does.
it tastes like a conch pistol.
Yeah.
You don't know what that is?
Exactly. Yeah.
Comment below and describe what a conch pistol is. Or comment and ask. But yeah, look at all that jello.
Pick it out with your finger.
Oh shit.
That kind of scoop.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, it's like jello. But it's good for you. Makes you shoot fish. Helps you shoot fish. You become one.
Man. Prevents you from shooting blanks.
Oh man, this is gonna be
don't-
perfect on
What do you got there, Jack?
Oh, smoked fish dip and
I thought you were gonna show this video
home
of Titus.
home pickled jalapenos.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get that recipe, dude.
What do you think about the wahoo dip? This is your first bite, right?
Oh, that might cost you.
Pretty freaking good, Joe. It's no amberjack, but you know it'll do.
You would die.
I feel like some of the fishier fish dips have like more flavor behind them. Like the wahoo's just like so plain.
They
you
have
know?
they have a lot of oil, and I think that retains a lot
Most
of
smoked
the
fish is
smoke. Yeah, I've been on a AJ
like
frenzy.
amberjack.
AJ frenzy. My dad and I. Oh my god.
I like yellow jack is probably my favorite though.
Really?
The smoke.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll do King and AJ. Because I eat that yellow jack. Oh my god, it's so good.
It's really good smoke.
The jalapenos. If anything, I would get one, like, I need some for my dad, because he's like, I need to get more of that jalapeno from Ray. All right, so we're in the Van Hook's house, and we got Jake here. Are you gonna lead chef? Are you gonna?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
so.
we're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna do some blackening, and Ray's got this custom blackening seasoning that he threw together, so we're gonna put it to the test. Tasting it tasted pretty good. A little spicy, I think it might be in the end, but I don't know, we'll see. Trick is just cake it on, as Jake is doing so perfectly. And then what's next step? I do it a certain way. I know everybody has their own.
I like to put a little butter in the pan.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, and then sear one side, and then
Okay.
flip it over.
All right. Yeah, that's. I've heard of people doing it that way.
High heat.
The way I do, I butter it first. I baste it with butter, and then I put the seasoning on, and then I just put that in the cast iron when it's like super hot. So like it has that. But I have a friend of mine that does it similar to this, and they're both freaking super good. Especially when you have fresh AP and you're blackening it with butter. It can't go wrong. Oh, and Jake, this is Jake. He was he made the sacrifice today. He left all of his gear at home, so he, that was his contribute to the sea god. So hope that we get fish, and obviously we did. We got a stud AP.
Yeah, I was shooting wahoo and APs all week, so my ear was all clogged up. And
and if you want to,
these boys needed help driving.
I know, and which was thankful, because dude, it was rough. Two people in the boat, like that's. You have to have that, because even imagine if somebody falls out and those like waves.
Yeah, and helping you to get in and out of the boat.
Yeah.
With the lines.
Yeah, especially with 3 people running float lines, it gets pretty crazy. But yeah, Jake, plug your channel. So Jake's
Offshore Adventures. I kind of just started. I posted a while ago and kind of stopped, but now that I got an editing system, I'm starting to record everything I do, because it's pretty cool. So definitely check it out. It's just Jake's Offshore Adventures. We run charters down here in the Florida Keys, so if you're looking to get out in the water in Isla Mirada, give me a call and we'll get you out there.
Yeah, so I'll link it down in the description below, and nothing's better than the Keys. So if you want some cool underwater spear diving in the Keys content, hit up Jake. Go give him a follow, and we're gonna get into this cook and see how it turns out. All right, so lathered some butter on the pan. Now we're just laying them down.
And you have to do.
Yeah. Usually you want it like smoking hot, but I mean, this is gonna be freaking good. And the good thing is these fish are pretty thin. Well, this fish is pretty thin, so it'll cook. It'll cook pretty quick, and it doesn't hurt having it up extra high.
Try one of these, huh?
Yeah, eat one of those. We flipped it. It's definitely smoky in here, and it's working.
Yeah, it's a couple things, but the trick is, you stick the fork in it, and if it feels tough still, it's still a little raw in the middle, and once that fork slides all the way through, she's done.
Yeah, and the trick is you don't want to overcook this stuff, because
it gets dry.
Yeah, it gets dry and it gets a little more tough. It's better to undercook it than overcook it, because realistically, this fish you can eat completely raw, so you don't have to worry about parasites or anything like that. So AP is one of the good ones, one of the very forgiving fish that you can have raw or seared, or
the baby ones.
Yeah, especially the baby ones. They got nothing wrong with that. It is done. It looks delicious.
It's definitely not dried out.
No. You cut through.
Oh yeah.
Good? Good.
Really good.
Yeah, cheers. Here. Oh God.
That blackening seasoning is good. It's
really good.
The spices.
Very nice cake.
How'd you make that?
It's freaking delicious. Holy crap. Look at that piece right there.
That one's not quite done.
No, I think it is.
Yeah, I think they're just like right on the border of being like uncooked. It's perfect. I know it's good. It makes it super moist. But yeah, you guys, we're gonna dig into this. I'm starving. We've been diving all morning. Haven't really had much. Well, I threw up a little bit, but haven't had much to eat for breakfast. But You guys check out these guys' channels. I'll leave them in the description below. Thanks for joining on this one. I know it wasn't the most successful trip, but that's how it is sometimes. If you're new to the channel and enjoy this kind of stuff, go ahead and subscribe. I post a video every week. Also, if you have any questions, comments, comment down below. Give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next week for another adventure. Later.